Late blight disease of potato and its management in West Bengal. Normally, late blight disease is not a recurring feature in Indo-Gangetic plains. It usually appears in moderate to severe form once in 2-3 years. However, last year was an exception. The disease appeared early throughout Indo-Gangetic plains including West Bengal and caused severe crop losses. Potato crop in West Bengal, in particular, suffered severe crop losses. Since disease inoculum is already there in seed tubers, it is likely to attack potato crop again if remedial measures are not taken. Keeping this in view, Central Potato Research Institute and Government of West Bengal have taken initiative in developing this DVD on late blight and its management for educating potato growers about this disease and its management. In India, potato was introduced way back in late 16th century or early 17th century by the Europeans. Since then, it has been adapted to various climates prevailing in the country, be it mid-hills and hills in north, south or northeast region, the plateau region and the entire Indo-Gangetic plains. In West Bengal, potato crop is grown in the Rabi season from November to March, during which climate is generally favorable for potato cultivation. If there are winter rains, the weather also becomes congenial for late blight. Most of us do not know what is the cause of late blight. This disease is caused by a fungus known as Phytophthora infestans. The spores of late blight fungus, which are seen in white cottony growth on lower surface of the leaves, gets washed down from the infected leaves and stems into the soil with the help of rain, water and dew. The spores first germinate and forms motile zoospores. The spores move in the water from 1 to 2 hours and then settle to form a cyst-like structure. The cyst then germinates into a germ tube which infect upon reaching the tuber surface through the lenticels. Not all tubers get infected at a time. Mainly those tubers which are formed in the upper part of the ridge are more prone to infection. The infected tubers show bronzing and rusting discoloration of the flesh. This can easily be seen on cutting the infected tubers. These are the characteristic symptoms of late blight in the tuber, which can be used for identifying and sorting out late blight infected tubers at the time of planting of the crop. These infected tubers are stored along with other seed tubers in the cold store where the fungus survives in these tubers. When seed tubers are taken out for planting, these infected tubers also get planted along with healthy ones in the field. Under congenial weather conditions, the fungus in the tubers get activated and moves towards the eyes located in crown end. If the movement of the mycelium is faster than the tuber germination, it would result into killing of the eyes, leading to tuber rot in the field. However, if the infection is slow or incipient, then tuber is able to germinate and give rise to a healthy plant. The fungus later colonizes the tuber, leading to formation of fungal spores on tuber surface, which may colonize the stem base. Under congenial weather conditions, lot of spores are formed on the infected collar region, leading to collar rot. These spores then become the source of secondary infection, leading to faster multiplication of spores, resulting in moderate to severe epidemic conditions. Before we learn to control this dreaded disease in the field, we should know how this disease looks like on leaves and stem for its correct identification. Unless it is done, no matter what we do, the disease may not be controlled effectively. We should know that late blight affects all plant parts, including leaves, stem, and tubers. On leaves, pale green water-soaked spots 2 to 10 mm appears mostly in the center, on the margin and tips. In moist weather conditions, spots may appear anywhere on the leaves, which may enlarge rapidly and turn necrotic and black, killing the entire leaf instantly. On the corresponding lower side, whitish cottony growth containing millions of sporangia forms around the dead area in a ring pattern. This particular symptom is quite evident in the morning hours before sunrise. This is typical symptom of late blight disease. On stem and petiole, light brown lesions develop, which elongates and encircles the stem and petioles, breaking them and killing the plant leaves instantly. As already stated earlier, rusty brown discoloration of the flesh is the typical symptom of late blight in tubers. Normally, late blight infected tubers are hard, but associated secondary pathogens may set in soft rot symptoms. At a field level, farmers are advised to inspect their crop daily and verify the symptoms of the disease as enumerated above. Under congenial weather conditions, this disease spreads like a wildfire, killing the entire field within few days. The affected crop looks as if burned by fire. The heavily infected field gives fetid odor, which can be felt from a distance. To make sure that the crop is infected by late blight, visit the field before sunrise and collect the leaves showing brown lesions and turn them upside down. If a white cottony growth is visible on the lower surface, then the disease is confirmed to be late blight. Many a times, white cottony growth is not visible due to low relative humidity and exposure to sunlight. In such situations, the infected leaves may be collected in the evening and kept in any small utensil lined with moist cotton. The utensil may be covered and kept overnight. If white cottony growth appears on the leaves, the disease is confirmed to be late blight. Late blight disease is totally weather dependent. It requires high humidity and moderate temperature. It is also favored by cloudy and foggy conditions. Such conditions are often observed during Rabi season in West Bengal. High humidity is created by cloudiness, frequent irrigation, intermittent rains and heavy fog, especially during daytime. Some of these conditions are normally seen during December to January in West Bengal. So far, we have seen how late blight looks in the field. What is its causal agent? How the pathogens causes the disease, and what are the congenial weather conditions which favor late blight? We have also seen the source of disease in the form of infected seed tuber. Without having a thorough knowledge on these aspects of the disease, one cannot manage late blight effectively. As already told, late blight spreads mainly through infected seed tubers. Therefore, only disease-free seed should be used by the farmers. This can be done by avoiding use of seed tubers from a late blight infected field in the previous season. Farmers are advised to strictly check the seed tubers for late blight infection at the time of cutting the tubers before planting. The infected seed pieces, if any, should be taken out and buried deep in the soil. Although sorting of late blight infected tubers will take care of tuber-borne infection to a greater extent, but adequate amount of inoculum is still passed on in the form of incipient infection through seed tubers. To take care of this inoculum, the seed tubers have to be planted on high ridges so that they do not get exposed during cultural operations as well as due to incessant rains. If infected tubers gets exposed, the fungal spores formed on their surface may come in contact with lower leaves, thereby initiating late blight infection. As soon as the crop emergence is complete, regular scouting of the potato field should be carried out for detection of disease infection foci. It should be remembered that in the beginning, the disease appears only on few plants scattered in the field. These plants further become the source of infection. As soon as disease-infected plants foci are noticed, they should be immediately sprayed with fungicides like 0.2% mancozeb and 0.3% cymoxanil plus mancozeb till runoff. Thereafter, the infected stems and leaves should be cut and buried deep in the soil. The exposed ridges should also be drenched with fungicide solution to disinfect the soil. Irrigation should be given once in every 10 to 12 days in light soils and 12 to 15 days in heavy soil. As soon as late blight infection is recorded, the irrigation should be stopped immediately. This would lower down the ambient relative humidity in the microclimate, thereby reducing the buildup of late blight disease. If congenial weather conditions continue for a long time, only bare minimum irrigation should be provided for sustaining the crop growth. The disease management strategy enumerated above will reduce the chances of late blight infection, but they do not guarantee complete elimination of the disease. Depending upon disease pressure, a spray schedule of minimum of 3 to 4 fungicide spray is recommended for managing late blight. However, the number of sprays may be increased or decreased depending on disease pressure. As a prophylactic measure, 25 to 30 days old crop should be sprayed with contact fungicides like 0.2% mancozeb, proponeb or chlorothalonil. On appearance of the disease, any of the systemic fungicides, that is 0.25% metalaxyl based or 0.3% cymoxanil based fungicides should be applied after 8 to 10 days of second application. However, if weather is highly congenial, repeat application of systemic fungicides, especially cymoxanil based fungicide. Apply systemic fungicides or contact fungicides as a fourth spray depending on disease severity and weather conditions. In the spray solution, add stickers like Triton 0.1% for better coverage and binding of spray solution on the leaf surface. Generally, late blight appears on lower leaves. Therefore, these leaves should be covered with fungicide solution completely. For this, spray nozzles should be taken to midst of the crop canopy. In the early stages of the crop, a minimum of 400 liters of water is required for 1 hectare area, but when the crop canopy is complete, the fungicide solution required would be 800 to 1000 liters per hectare. If above schedule is followed, farmers can manage late blight effectively, thereby realizing full potential of the potato crop.